Uh-oh.
Yeah, really.
No, he's done it. Just let me know when we could confirm we're actually...
Oh, there it is. They've got it. Who's the man now? That would be me.
Do we think we're up?
Val is checking.
Okay.
Yeah. The orange light turns on when we're live here, right?
When your camera's on.
You're live, I see it now.
Okay. All right. Are you ready, Todd?
Sure. Why not?
Switching? Oh,
Yep.
that's not yet. Right, switching over. We're live.
Okay, hey, welcome. I'm Mark. I'm with Todd. Today we're going to
Hey,
take a
guys.
look. We're at Whole Latte Love. Today we're going to take a look at one of our favorite entry-level super automatic espresso machines.
Yeah, this
Right?
is Gaggia Brera, and I would say is my favorite. Not one of my. This is the best value you can get on a super automatic espresso machine.
And
I'd
right-
say period.
And right now, I just want to tell you, we do have a special offer right now. It only runs during the live stream and then until 5 o'clock Eastern time today. You can check out the link in the description or go right to wholelattelove.com. Find the Gaggia Brera there under super automatic espresso machines, and you can check out that very special offer. It's already an extremely affordable machine, but you can get a special deal on it today. And this one, free shipping on this as well. And you're going to get 2% latte reward, so that's 2% of the purchase price to use on future purchases. And yeah, so that's a really good deal. Also, we got the contest running right now. You could register to win $500, so you might be able to just buy one. So check that out. But let's get in, Todd, Gaggia Brera.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how the basic setup would go, and then the operation, how to make coffee. And so let's say, for instance, say you already have one of these, hang out a little while, we'll get into it. We're going to show you how to get the best coffee you can out of it, which is some questions we get sometimes. So we're going to run through the whole thing. We'll just start going and see where it goes.
And we're setting this up. So this is a machine we've used, but we've taken it kind of back to like it just came out of the box. So
Yeah, we've been using this for a couple of years, so it's better on the block a couple times. But we drained the boiler, so it's going to act just like it came out of the box.
So we're going to set it up like it's new. Yep. So first step.
First step, set it up on your counter. You plug it in the back here.
And there's a power switch back here, right?
Yep, back there. Hit the power switch on.
Yep.
Then you'll see a red light up here will start flashing. So we're going to put some water in this.
Okay.
So we're going to start right from scratch.
Okay.
Reach through.
And now with machines like this, we do suggest using a water filter. We'll show you how to do that. The Brera does not come with a water filter, I don't believe.
Nope.
But we will show you, you can get one. That's going to give you better tasting coffee and also extend the time between descalings.
Yep. So push this button here. And when you see these lights on, that triangle and that light over there shows that the machine needs to be what they call a ventilate, which is just got to prime the pump. So turn this over to that icon there, that hot water icon. When it gets like this, turn that off, and now it's going to start heating up.
That's pretty easy.
That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it, yeah.
I read the manual, I got that.
Yeah. Maybe a couple times, huh?
Yeah, so now it's, when all those lights flash, just show that it's actually doing a rinse cycle, which it'll do on startup.
So it's going to push some water through it, rinse it out.
Yeah, it does. Every time it turns on or turns off, well, not every time, most times, it'll do a rinse cycle like this, so you'll get used to that. It keeps the brew group clean, flushes any old coffee out of there.
And we'll talk about what a brew group is down the road here in a few.
Okay, beans go up top here. Here's your grind setting right here. Right now I happen to have this on the finest setting.
And why the finest?
The finest is what you probably want to use for espresso. If you're doing really want to get a rich espresso, you use that. It's going to make a nice slow coffee flow. If you want to go coarser, you push it down and turn it. And you go coarser. You can see all those little, can you see that in the camera there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Little dots,
Yeah,
yeah.
the big dots, coarser, smaller dots, finer.
Kind of makes sense, right?
Yep. And when you're setting this to a finer setting, the grinder should be operating, just so you know. When you set it, you have to turn it down and push it.
So when you go coarser, not critical that the grinder's
Not
running?
as critical. The instructions say to do it, so we recommend that you do it.
Okay. And just while we're up here, what's the little G? I mean, that's...
This is a bypass doser for putting pre-ground coffee in. So if you want to use, say you have a decaf you want to use, you can put that in. Just one scoop. Machine comes with a scoop. Just, okay.
Yep. So you just.
There's a scoop. One scoop of there into that, and you can brew that.
So really handy for a decaf coffee,
Yeah,
or if you have another pre-ground coffee you want to use.
Yeah, if you want to try something different other than the beans.
Although let's talk a little bit about what kind of coffee.
Okay.
Before we get too far.
That sounds good.
So, for instance, you don't want to use what type of beans?
Yeah, you don't want really oily beans. They're dark, they're over roasted, and then as far as I'm concerned, all the flavor characters are roasted out of them, and then you're going to have just taste burnt. And also, if they're oily, they can start to clog up grinders. I don't care if you have a Gaggia, a Brera, or whatever you have. Oily beans can clog things up. Sometimes the beans stick together and create like a big bean. It won't drop into the grinders. The grinder's turning, and you hear it spinning free, but there's no coffee being ground. And
usually a really oily bean really isn't a very good bean, right? Usually.
Hey, it could have started off as a good bean, and they roasted it to not be a good bean.
Yeah. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, so also flavored beans. You don't want to use anything with any oils or sugars on them. That'll clog it up for sure.
Right.
You know, we've had some come in for service, and you can smell the vanilla.
Yeah.
It's not good.
That's not good. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So next step here. We're primed. We're ready to go. We have some beans in there.
Yeah. Let's say let's make a coffee.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to program an espresso. I'm actually going to get this back down to the finest setting. Okay. So I'm going to push my button, and I turn it down to the finest setting. It just kind of mentions it's got a nice lid on this.
Yeah.
The freshness seal.
The freshness seal. Want to keep your
So you
beans
gotta have
fresh.
that. Yep. Okay, now I already have this programmed for about 1.5 ounces, and it's still really easy to program.
And that's the size we suggest for a regular espresso, right?
Yep.
About ounce and a half.
Now that's a nice slow flow. If you're doing
Yeah.
espresso, this is great. If you're doing a tall cup of coffee, you'd want something a little bit faster.
Lots of nice crema on that.
Yeah, it's a nice shot.
What kind of coffee are we using? Just because coffee makes a difference, right?
I'm glad you asked. We're using the Coffee Mio Officio brand, I believe how you pronounce it. We import that directly from Australia. It's actually airshipped to us.
Nice. Yeah.
So it gets here quick, really nice. It's not stored in a container on the boat on the ocean. So it's really nice. Oh, take a look at this.
What is that?
That tells you that your dredge drawer, which is where your used coffee goes, is full.
Okay.
Okay, so we just pull this out. And here's where the used coffee goes. So you get all these pucks in here. And we'll just dump that out.
Okay. There you go.
And when it starts to flash, shows you can put it back in. Now you're ready to go again.
Great.
Now let's go back to the coffee brewing for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to program this coffee button, what you do is you push and hold it.
Okay.
And then it goes into program mode. So I'll program it a little bit shorter. So push and hold, and you'll see the light start to flash there. And you can let go.
So once the light flashes, that indicates you're in programming?
Exactly. You let go.
So the grinder's running, and it's gonna...
Now it's tamping the coffee inside. We'll get inside in a minute and take a look at that.
We're gonna find that little barista in there, right?
Yeah.
It's a really little barista.
Yeah, he does pretty good.
Yeah.
You can see I have this coffee really fine.
I mean, it does just look beautiful.
What's just nice about the Gaggia? On the Gaggias, you can adjust the grinders really fine, so you can get a really thick, authentic espresso on these.
I mean, that's nearly all crema there.
I'm going to stop it right about there by pushing the coffee button again. Now it's in the memory. It'll do that the next time.
Next time I press that button?
That's what you get.
And now I can get 2 of those, right?
Yeah. If you want to do a double shot, say put 2 cups underneath, just push it twice, twice, in a grind, tamp, and brew. Grind, tamp, and brew a second shot.
So that's nice. Now there's some machines out there that, you know, if you want to do 2 coffees, it might just grind more or just put more water through the coffee.
Yeah, some do more coffee per grind.
But the Gaggia actually does separate grind cycles, so you keep your strength.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go with that. That's a good way to put it. Let's take a look at the brew group while we're here.
Oh, we're going to go find that little barista, right?
Yeah, let's keep going, looking around here.
Okay.
Okay, in here, one of the nice things about the Gaggia is that you can take the brew group out to clean it. And that's this piece right here. Okay. So the way this works is, if you're interested, coffee grounds goes into this part here. And then this, it turns like this. Coffee's in there. And this raises up and compresses it right there.
Okay.
Water goes in through here, through the coffee, out here, and then that goes out to your spouts. So that's how, then this comes down, moves over, and dumps the coffee.
So it was essentially the same thing a barista would do in a cafe. They grind the coffee, they put it in a portafilter, tamp it down, and yeah. So this just kind of automates that whole process. And you know, I just want to say, you know, if you know, everybody's kind of familiar with the plastic capsule machines, right? And there's no plastic involved here. When you're done,
no plastic to throw away.
Right. Yeah. Well, yes, but so when you're done, it's compostable coffee grinds.
Yep.
Right. And
yeah, you don't fill the landfills. You get fresh ground coffee. Well, we can get into that. Well, let me get this back in here, and then we'll get into that. Okay. Kind of, if you ever have one of these machines, let's say you're watching this video and you have one, you notice you come in here and you push it, it won't stay in place. It just means this piece here has gone down. Just press on this, and that goes up, and then you can push it in place. If you put it in right, just lock it in, give it a little tug, and it's fine.
And you're good to go.
Yeah. Hey, while we got it out, while we're here, let's talk about maintenance.
Okay.
Okay. Just rinse this out under the sink is all you really have to do.
No soap, right?
No soap, not at all. Just rinse off that screen right there, rinse off the gasket, and then just shake it, and then just leave it out to dry.
And just, you don't want to use real hot water either?
Warm water,
is it
not
okay?
real hot water.
Just some warm?
Yeah, because there's grease and some tracks in here.
Okay.
Which,
you don't
down the line, if you ever want to give it a real good cleaning, you can use soap and water, wash it out, and then just re-grease those.
Okay.
It comes with a little bit of grease, the machine does.
But that's not, you don't do that very often, right? That's a real...
Nope. And so that's kind of that.
Okay.
One thing to keep in mind when you're using the machine, if you've just say you've emptied this, but there's still, this is telling you that you have to empty it. You need to empty this when the machine is on.
So it knows that you've removed it.
Or it doesn't know.
It doesn't know.
So
okay.
if that says there's coffee pucks, but there's only one in there, just pull it out. Wait till that flashes, and then just flashes. There you go, and push it back in.
And then it's registered that you removed it. And
Yep. Drip tray comes out here. Ooh, she's pretty full. So this is going to get full with water eventually. We've been using this machine a lot today, and I have not emptied it. There's a little float there, so when it gets really full, that pops up.
Kind of lets you know what it, like yours is right now.
Another silly thing, but it's really nice, these little baffles in here. So when you carry this, you notice I'm not dripping it all over the place.
Right.
So that's really sweet design. So I'm just going to dump this out now.
And now we'll get into how to froth with this because we create steam with this machine and we can make lattes and cappuccinos. And again, just a reminder.
Yeah, let's jump into that.
Do check out the special offer that we have running on this machine now. It's a very affordable machine. It's even more affordable today. And of course, we have the free shipping on it and that. And so check that out.
A little much there.
In the description.
Okay, so let's say you want to make just a cappuccino in your cup with nice creamy froth. You can actually do it right in your cup if you want to.
So I don't have to have a pitcher, huh?
Don't have to. Okay. What I like to do is first take this, open this knob, this selector knob goes between steam and hot water. So set it to steam. That light tells you that it's heating up the steam temperature. With any machine, you're going to have some kind of water in the wands here, so you want to purge that out. Even if you go to a commercial shop, you notice they do the same thing.
Yeah, they're always purging.
Yes, they are. So get that.
Okay.
Then take that out, put it under here. Well, and it's got it frothing.
So this is an auto frothing wand. It sort of injects the air.
Yep.
I mean, technically a Panarello wand.
It's got a little hole in here someplace near the top. Can you see it there?
I'm missing it.
Right, is that it right there?
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Tiny little hole. That's where the air goes in?
Yeah, that sucks air in, increase the froth. And if you get to the point you have enough froth, you don't want any more, you just raise this up to cover that hole, and then it'll just heat the milk. Won't froth it anymore.
You get a nice roll in there. I can see the milk's expanding quite a bit.
Yeah, it's frothing good. Okay. You don't want to get anything over 140 degrees. That'll be pretty good there.
So usually about the time the outside of your cup is just getting kind of too hot to handle.
Yep.
A little bit before that.
Always wipe your wand down real good. Oh, we're out of beans. When you're doing a demo, make sure you don't run out of beans.
Yeah.
But if you do run out of beans, I'll move that to the side.
Yep.
That light will go on and tell you you're out of beans.
It kind of tells you what's going on.
Yep.
You hold a fair amount of beans in there, you know, and compared to a capsule machine, if you're using fresh whole ground beans, number one, you have way better coffee. Number two, those whole beans, they cost a lot less than the capsules.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're using whole bean, you have so many choices of coffee to
Yeah.
use. I mean, it's incredible what's out there. Obviously, we've got a lot of really good coffee. We have the Coffee Mio, we got some great Maromas coffee, we got Lavazza, Segafredo.
All the classic Italian
yeah.
espresso blends and
Then
all
we got,
kinds of...
now we're using coffee from a Joe Bean, a local roaster, which is also fantastic.
Okay, so you're just doing that. So that's that like ounce and a half of espresso, just going in over your frothed milk.
So if you didn't run out of beans, it'd be pretty quick.
Yeah, really. I mean, you know, about a minute, right? And you can, you know, way shorter than the line at the cafe.
Yeah. So that's one way to make a really nice drink.
Okay.
Okay?
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Now there's another way you can do it also. If you want to do a really nice latte. This is a great cappuccino.
Yep,
You
nice.
can do a nice latte. And to do that, you can pull this off and just use the actual steam wand itself here to froth your milk. This would be like a commercial steam wand.
Okay. This takes a little bit of practice, right, to get this one down?
Yeah, it's a little bit
not too hard.
Yeah, there's a little technique to it, but she's not too tough. So first, I'm gonna brew my espresso. And then we're going to go back and we're going to froth. And we can use a technique here that you use on commercial machines, is where you put the tip of the steam wand just below the surface of the milk, just enough where it actually sucks the air in behind it and injects it into the milk.
So it kind of uses like, I'd say it's like a Venturi effect. It's kind of pulling air down in below the surface of the milk, and then you're mixing those bubbles up and heating at the same time. And
exactly.
That really does make an incredible looking shot.
It is nice.
You know?
I challenge you to find another machine that does as nice. I mean, all the Gaggias do this, but I mean, go online, look at pictures of super automatics brewing.
Yep.
Yeah, this is it.
And a little later, we'll show you here in this how to, you know, just get like, you know, more of a regular cup of coffee out of the machine as well.
Okay. And now I'll purge the wand again.
So just till you're not getting that stream of water anymore.
Wait a couple more seconds, and a couple seconds you hear a little like a thump coming out of here. Is when the boiler's all heated up to steam temperature. There she goes.
Now we got to see where your tip is here when you're doing this.
Okay. Right down near the...
So the tip is just like...
Right at the surface.
Right at the surface. This takes a little practice, but it's really not all that difficult.
No, you just right in this strip, you can see right there how it's kind of sucking the little air down. And when you feel your pitcher start to get warm to the touch, then you realize you probably got just about enough air in it.
Okay.
And when you think you had enough air, you want to raise the pitcher up a little bit, and now I'm not sucking any more air in.
You're just heating and swirling and...
See the roll there? You're trying to get the roll so it sucks the big bubbles down.
So you keep your wand kind of like in one position. It's just the up and the down.
And it's always good to do a little, wipe it down and purge it. I got a little dry down there, but that's all right.
Yep.
And so if you look at the milk, it's really creamy, kind of like latex paint.
And if you didn't know, when you heat milk up to about that 140, it gets an apparent sweetness beyond the creaminess too, and that's what makes for the delicious flavor. And
you can froth good enough quality where you can do latte art on a super automatic on a Gaggia Brera.
Like you just did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool, right?
That's one of the reasons I really love this machine.
That is cool. Now, there is an accessory wand that is available for the machine, which we have here. Let's just take a look at that for a second. So
this here, we named it, it's a Panarello wand, but we named it the Latte Art Wand. We did that because it has a commercial style tip on it or we can use it with the Panarello wand, so it would be very similar to what this is.
So it does exactly the same thing as...
Yeah, sucks air and injects it. Or you take this, and you can put this on.
And then you get that same like manual wand with...
Yeah, a really nice manual wand. It's plastic, so it cleans really easy. And you have a really good velocity of steam coming out of there, so it makes really nice, you can make really nice quality foam with it.
But I mean, you did a real good job just taking that wand off and using the pipe straight like that.
Yeah.
And you could do that with most of the Gaggia super automatics, right?
A fair amount of them. The Gaggia Brera and the Academia.
They have a steam wand.
Yeah, they have a commercial style wand and an auto carafe.
Right.
They're like a bunch more than this, but.
So if you want it even easier, right? So this is the entry level, the really one of the most affordable options. But you know they do go on up, and generally as you go up on the machines, you're going to get more features like that, like where you just go and you can push a button and.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to pull this off since it's not an actual factory's option.
Okay, so now we're back to normal.
Yep. Now I want to talk about coffee drinks.
Okay.
Okay. How to get the best coffee out of this.
Because there's a couple things you need to know, right?
Yep.
So
we already know espresso. You set it to fine, and you're good to go. Some people may want a little quicker, so you can set a little coarser. But if you want to do a full cup of coffee, there's two types of coffee you can do. Okay. You can do a full cup of coffee like an americano, or you can do a cafe crema. A cafe crema is where you push the button and you brew a tall cup of coffee right through all, so you're extracting all the flavors out of the coffee.
Right.
Because you're running maybe 6 to 8 ounces through it. Or you can do an espresso where you're brewing a proper espresso and add hot water to it.
that's the Americano.
Yeah, that's americano.
Okay.
Some people like the cafe crema, some like the americano. What we'll do is we'll kind of show you how to do both. So you'll have the option, decide for what you like. I personally like the americano.
See, and when I'm using one of these machines, I typically just go for the cafe crema. It just makes a really flavorful, taller cup of coffee.
And he works hard. He wants to push the button and walk away.
That's right.
I don't do anything, so I can make hot water.
So which one are we going to do first? It's up to you.
Let's do the cafe crema first, since I have that set to the finest.
Okay.
Okay. So you take your cup, do your espresso.
Oh, you are on the you're on the finest?
I'm on the finest right now. Still.
Okay, so we're going to do the Americano.
Americano first. What did I say?
Yeah, cafe crema.
Oops.
It's okay. You need more coffee. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I need.
So again, the Americano is just espresso and hot water.
Yep.
And we can get the hot water right out of this machine?
Yeah,
that's what we're going to do?
You get the hot water out of the wand here. Or if you want, you can have a hot water kettle you can use for that. Or a steam kettle, whatever, for making tea.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do.
So you got your espresso.
And since I frothed with this before, I'm just going to run a little water through the wand here just to make sure it's all cleared out. Normally I would do that all the time, but sometimes we get working here and we don't get everything done. Okay.
So steam, you turn that knob to one side, hot water, you go to the other side.
Right. Yep.
So just over to the right. It's going to heat up.
It's heating up. You see the icon there shows that it's heating.
Yep. Okay.
And you run that, put as much water as you want. Just do a little priming now since we steam blast with it.
Right.
Got to get all the air out. So that's how you make an Americano. Okay. Which is a proper espresso with hot water in it. Okay. So you get the espresso flavor. You get an iced Americano, which is nice. You brew an espresso, and then you put the cold water in it with some ice. Really get a nice flavor out of that too. Okay, if you want to do a cafe crema, what I would first do is I'd get this to a much coarser setting. So we're going over here. We're going to push the coffee button, push that down, and turn that. And in this case, I go second to the finest.
Yep. And you're gonna brew that through first, right?
In this case, I'm gonna waste a shot. Just to get the coarser coffee in there.
Okay.
because there's a little chute. You got a little extra coffee in there.
Oh, and you're going to do something. So here's something people should know. If you're using this machine and you want to stop it, what do you do?
Just push the button here, and that'll stop the flow at any time.
Okay. So if you had programmed for a larger cup and I put the smaller cup in there, I got to stop. You can do that. Okay.
Emergency.
Okay. Now, so you're going to program this one as well?
I have this programmed for 8 ounces right now, but I'll kind of show you how we do it. We'll do it for around 4 ounces. So you push and hold the button here. Till the light flashes.
For that flashing?
Okay. Then we'll wait till.
So we call that just the press and hold method of programming, which is pretty common on these machines. You just press and hold one of the buttons and get the volume you want, then press it again, and then it stores that amount.
Now, while it's doing this, we'll kind of explain how to control the strength of your coffee.
Yeah.
What you've got here, if we brew a full cup of coffee with, say, roughly 10 grams in a ground, it might be not as strong as you want. So what you can program this, maybe, let's say if this was an 8-ounce cup, you could do 2 4-ouncers, and then to make 1 full cup of coffee. So you could program this for 4 ounces at full strength, push the brew button twice, it'll grind, tamp, and brew 2 4-ounce shots, and it'll give you a really nice, strong 8-ounce coffee.
And then you also have just a strength control as well, which we'll talk about.
We'll get that in just a second here.
Yeah.
So you notice this is flowing a little bit quicker, at least it was before than the other shot. Okay, so that'll give you roughly 3 ounces or 4 ounces or so. I just didn't want to wait the whole time.
Yeah.
It's not that exciting to watch. So if you want to get a full cup now, you just come up here, push a button twice, you get a full cup of really nice, strong cafe crema.
Really, a really good, stiff, strong coffee. And if you like it weaker, maybe you program it with more volume. But then there's another control as well for strength.
Yes. This one over here. This button here controls, see these 3 beans here? This controls the strength, and these indicators tell you how strong it's going to be. That's your weakest, which is roughly 7 or so grams. That's roughly 9 grams, 2 beans, roughly 10.5 grams with 3 beans. Or you push this, go to this icon here, that's a scoop icon, which...
That's where you use the
pre-ground coffee.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yes, it is. That's the basics of the machine, I think.
So really easy to use. And again, we can do 2 coffees at the same time, right? So you can get 2... up to, 8-ounce coffees at once?
Maximum 8 ounces.
Maximum 8 ounce delivered. So you just put 2 cups, because there's 2 spouts down here.
Yeah.
So you can put 2 cups under there, hit either of the buttons twice, whichever one you want, and you get two cups made. Yep. And again, it grinds.
Come on, I can get it. Stop at 3. There you go.
There you go. It grinds it'll grind 2 times for that.
Yes.
As well, automatically. So
okay. You guys have been listening. Does that all make sense to you? Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's got it?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Just want to make sure.
So, okay. Now, I did mention up front that it doesn't come with a water filter, but we do really suggest using a water filter. It does come with like a water hardness test strip, so that can help you set up the filter. And maybe, I don't know if we need to get into actually how to. I mean, it's pretty straightforward to do. We can show that.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Let's take a look at that filter, because there's a couple things you should know about that.
Yeah, there's an A, B, and a C on that. A is if you have soft water, B kind of okay, C pretty hard.
Pretty hard, and that's just going to change how much it filters the water in there.
That's right. And so we take this filter, you're supposed to put it in water. You know how long it was? I don't remember.
I think it just needs to get really saturated.
Yep.
So
it's saturated. Push on the side a couple times so any air bubbles come out. And then you can place that in the machine. So we got a water hardness test strip. This thing here.
Yeah, go ahead and let's test our water, huh?
I wonder how we are. When was the last time we looked?
So you just dunk that in and then pull it out, and then it's kind of look at how many red or green squares you have.
Looks like we got a 2. So we got medium.
So we have medium. So on our filter,
we'll go B.
And again, the advantage of the filter is it has some activated carbon in there, so it's going to remove any chlorine, and it's also going to soften the water, so it's going to reduce scale buildup, which any espresso machine you use, you're going to have some scale buildup over time unless you have really.
Yep. You can take
good
this
water.
large particle filter out,
Okay.
and you just set this down in here.
So it's just a press fit.
Yeah, press fit.
Okay.
The O-ring seals real nice. Put your water in, and away you go.
Yeah.
And now the instructions in the manual say to descale this about every 2 months. Also,
Okay.
the filters are good for about 2 to 3 months. Also, now if the machine's been sitting for a long time and you haven't been using it, you'll have to descale more often.
Okay.
Sitting a long time unused will create scale to build up.
Or if you aren't using a filter, which again we really do suggest you do, and you have hard water, you really need to descale. That's a thing.
Keep her healthy. She'll last a long time.
And we won't get into it, but it does have an automatic descaling cycle. It's really easy to do. So not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Okay.
So that is.
Oh, I mean, let's just go over the machine a little
spouts.
bit. So you got adjustable spouts.
Drip tray comes out here.
Everything comes out the front.
Yeah, which is nice. So you have a low counter.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. We may have sneak the beans in there, and it's also relatively light, so it pulls forward pretty good if you have to get it out from underneath the counter. Grind settings. I'm going to get this down a little lower because I don't like making it up high.
So again, when you adjust the grind finer, you want to have the machine actually running.
Grinding. Yep. And you push down and turn at the same time.
Okay. Can we maybe once it gets through? I'm going to turn around here. Maybe once it gets through, just getting rid of that, we can just go through some of the menu functions and see what's in there. Because there's a couple other things in there that maybe we can show folks.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Well, I mean, it is a very, very simple and easy to use machine. It's one of the simplest.
Yeah, we'll show that.
Sure.
So basically some indicator lights up here that'll tell you stuff.
Yeah.
You already saw if you were watching it earlier, the when it runs out of beans, which you've got. Okay. If you pull the water, this dredge drawer out, shows that that's missing. It's telling us to empty it now, so let's do
might
that.
as well. And so that's kind of what you get out of it, those pucks. And again, if you're interested in this machine, we do have some special offers running today, just until 5 o'clock Eastern. You can get to those through the links in the description, or just go to wholelattelove.com and find the Brera there, and there's more on that there.
That's telling us we need to do a ventilate on it. So just turn the knob there. That's because we put the filter in on it.
And so it got a little air inside.
Got a little air in there, yep.
But the machine knows that, so now it's just going to operate the pump to get some water running through.
Yep. When it goes back to that, you're good.
Okay.
I made a bit of a mess. Please forgive me. Okay, when the water reservoir gets pulled out, that shows you're out of water or it's removed. And then you get a little triangle light up there. There's a warning light, tells you something's up. If something's up, then you just go to your manual. Manual's really nice. It'll tell you what's wrong with it, and you just fix it.
Oh, and I do want to mention, so when you get a machine from us, I'm gonna just go around the corner for a second, okay?
Sure.
So we do have some folks that you can talk to. So before you there's our fish tank. Before you buy a machine, or after you buy a machine, and you need some help with it, we've got a bunch of people that you can actually call if you want to. They're great. Oh, you see our little hydroponic garden running there.
We're making our own food. We got
into
tomatoes, peppers.
Making our own food, and I love this. I love the saltwater tanks.
Yeah.
But anyhow, back here. So we do have those folks you can call and get advice from. And I do also want to mention, I'm going to turn back around here, do also want to mention that we have a great support wiki. So for the Brera and a bunch of the other products we have, if we can show that, that would be great. You go to wholelattelove.com, you go to our support wiki, right? And we're really proud of this because we put a lot of time and effort into putting videos for each machine within the support wiki. So if you want some more advice on how to use the machine, there's lots of written material there. We have manuals and diagrams and basically anything you could ever want to know about the Brera.
If somebody had a problem, they told us about it, we put it in the wiki so you can find that problem there. There's not many problems. This machine's been around the block. And it's proven to be very, very reliable.
Yeah. I mean, this is, again, and I'm going to say, because I really don't like the plastic capsule machines that much. I just feel like, they're not environmentally great. The coffee costs a small fortune. I mean, you're usually paying for, the coffee that we used in one of these drinks, you're usually going to pay like 50 to 75 cents, maybe even more per coffee. And here, if you do the math and, you're getting kilogram of beans for around 20 bucks, you're down around a cup of coffee's in that like 17 cents or even less. So you can save a bunch of money, and you're going to get coffee that tastes way better. And plus, you're going to make cappuccinos and lattes and that kind of thing.
You can raise your family and friends.
Because I always make the argument. I say, look, just talk to the wife and tell her you're going to make her lattes all the time, right? She's going to love that, and you can't do that with a cow. And you're going to save money. The machine is literally going to pay for itself, in just a few months if you're drinking 3 or 4 coffees a day, and you have been using a capsule machine. It's really kind of like one of those no-brainer things. And again, we do have, it's one of the most affordable machines. It's very reliable, and right now we got that special offer running on it. So check the description for that, so you can find out what that's all about. There's free shipping on this machine, so no shipping cost. And you can also find that special offer right at wholelattelove.com. Just go to the Gaggia Brera, the product page there, and there's details on that. But again, that only runs till 5 o'clock Eastern today. So, but let's see, have we gotten any questions? Because we did tell people we were going to take some questions. We have Amanda over here helping us out with that.
Sheriff Egypt is back. I know we talked to him a little bit on Monday.
Love the sheriff.
He has Gaggia Brera himself.
Okay.
And he's wondering, I believe what he's asking is, why is there such a huge price difference between a machine like this and some of the ones that have the automatic lattes, etc.?
Yes, that's a good question.
It is.
Volume. This machine's been around. They make so many of them that you can make them for a lot less money. So I believe that's the reason. It's a plastic housing. You don't have the big heavy-duty stainless steel housings just like you have on some, or the heavy-duty doors and hinges, all the bells and whistles. This is very basic. I mean,
yeah, and those other machines are going to have like maybe a frothing carafe and a lot more technology inside to actually automatically, you just push a button and you can get a latte or cappuccino out of those. But at the same time,
you'll have basically the same ceramic burr grinder in this as you have in the expensive machines. Same brew group. I mean, yeah, same boiler, same pump. It's great stuff.
That's what I say, and I say that all the time too. You can buy when you get pricier in these machines. What you usually get is more convenience. But honestly, the quality of the espresso, there's some exceptions, but the quality of the espresso or the coffee that you're going to get out of it is going to be essentially the same.
Yeah, pretty much the same, except the ones that have the flow control on the front. You might get a little change, but that's about it.
Or a grinder with more adjustments, so you can do a little bit more fine tuning with that, or more temperature options and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anything else?
I know you guys haven't been enjoying the whole K-cup idea. We did have someone ask, what is the best 12-volt single cup or K-cup machine for a trucker?
For a trucker,
I think maybe the hand presso
auto.
Auto.
He chipped in and he said the hand presso.
Hand presso auto would be a great way to go. You do with pods or ground coffee. You plug into your cigarette lighter. I assume in a truck you're going to have plenty of power in that.
It's the accessory lighter or accessory jack.
For the old people, the cigarette lighter. Good point. Now it's the accessory jack.
But that'd be great because you can use pre-ground coffee in that or the ESE pods.
So as far as being in a work off a 12-volt system, that's all I know about.
Yeah. Anything else?
If you have a way to make hot water in that, then you could also make Americanos. You can brew an espresso, and I'm sure you have some kind of hot water maker made for the trucks. Yeah. And do an espresso and add hot water. You got a great Americano.
And apologies, I just realized that my microphone was off.
Oh no!
But I've been talking pretty loud. I've been talking pretty loud. Okay. I've got a loud voice. Sheriff had also asked earlier. This is something that was asked on Cyber Monday about whether you froth before you make your espresso or not, and why you would want to do one before the other. Maybe.
Okay, that's a good question. That's a good question. I like that question. Yeah. Because if I ever do a video and I brew and then I froth, I get yelled at because I'm letting the coffee sit. A lot of it's going to depend on what you're looking for. If you're looking for something where, to you, the most important part is the creaminess of the froth, you may want to froth second. But in most cases, it's really better to brew first and then froth afterwards. You want to keep as much flavor in the coffee that you can. Because the crema will dissipate over time too. So
yeah, either one's gonna dissipate a little bit. So it's at some point it's a personal preference. I know, if I'm using a regular single boiler machine or something, I usually want to froth second because I want my milk to stay nice and creamy and that. I want to mix it with the espresso when it's all kind of still, because if you let it sit, it does settle out a bit.
Especially if you're using like a skim milk or something, it definitely separates.
Yeah.
But then you have to start using a spoon to hold some back and spoon some on. So, but either way, it's going to work. If you're doing a cappuccino on a machine like this, probably do what we did earlier. Just froth right in your cup, move it over, brew your espresso right into it. That's going to be probably the best way to do it.
And I have a way around all of this.
Yes.
And it just costs money. That's all, right? And you always solve a problem with money usually, I think. But you go to a semi-auto machine, a heat exchanger, dual boiler, and you froth and steam at the same time. Problem solved.
Yes. Write a bigger check.
Yeah. Or a one-touch super automatic, which is going to do them separately, but you just push a button, walk away, and you come back, and then you grab your latte. So.
Write a bigger check.
Yeah, and write a bigger check, right. But we're talking about the affordable entry levels. And again, if you've been thinking about a machine like this, you're really not going to find a better deal than right now. So use the link down in the description or go right to wholelattelove.com, find the Brera there at our site, real easy to do. And you can check out the special offer there that only goes again until right now during this live stream and until 5 o'clock Eastern time today, and then that's kind of done. So don't miss your opportunity there. And again, free shipping on this machine. In fact, anything we carry over $50, right? Free shipping.
Yeah, forgot. It comes in two colors, black and silver.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget.
So we have the black one here.
This is the black one.
And yeah, we have the silver one right over here. So we can get a look at what that looks like. I'll give you some space here. Got enough for you there.
See something good. And there's the silver. So front's the same machine. Just got the silver there instead of the black, and on the sides, in the top, they have the silver instead of black.
And they're identical, other than just the colors, right? Yeah. So. Oh, and also I'll remind you, get into that. We have that going on right now where you can win $500 to use towards your coffee bar at Whole Latte Love. Very easy to enter. Pretty sure we do have the link for that in the description here.
Yes, that's at the bottom of the description, or you can find it on our About Us page on the website.
Yeah, so that's a great opportunity. You could basically, we'll send you one for free if you win. Almost.
Yeah.
So, any other questions?
One from earlier, Chris Hayer chimed in. He said, should you put water in the machine before you turn it on, or does it matter?
Makes no difference.
Makes no difference.
You can turn it on. It'll know there's not water there if there's no water. It has this one does have a sensor, right?
It has a water sensor in there.
It has a water sensor.
Yep.
It's kind of like an inductive thing, so it's not like anything that's moving in the tank or it's not an electrical thing. It's kind of in the wall of the machine where the water reservoir goes in.
Yes.
So.
What he said.
What I said.
Yep.
Trying to sound smart. How'd I do?
You did great.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put the water in before or after. It doesn't make any difference. Machine doesn't care.
And because it's not going to turn on and start heating up and cook anything if it doesn't have water. It's pretty smart that way. Okay.
Addison family is saying that they would like to see you compare this machine to the Breville Touch. Don't think we have that in here, but do you have any general
to the
first
Breville
thoughts?
Touch? I assume that's a semi-automatic machine. You have to grind the coffee and do everything yourself.
Yeah.
So this is a whole different ballgame. This is for the Addison family, you said?
Yes.
Hello, Addison family.
Hi.
So totally different type of machine.
If it is, I'm not positive it is, because Breville does make
does
some
not look
supers and some semis, but
I'm not sure if we have it.
I'm not familiar with.
Somebody look up, see what the Breville Touch is?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so we're gonna
I never saw a super automatic from Breville, so I don't think they have a super automatic.
Oh no.
It is this.
Okay. Yeah,
it's
that's
like
what I thought it was.
It's like an Oracle.
Yeah, it's a semi-automatic, what we call a semi or fully automatic. It's not a super automatic. So with that, great machine also, totally different. With that one, you have to grind the coffee yourself, you tamp it, and you brew your coffee. And from that, you want to learn the art of espresso. You want to learn to get the right grind and the right tamp pressure. And there's always a little messier because you got the ground coffee that's going to get around a little bit. You got to knock the coffee out of the portafilter every time. Great way to go. Also, you can get fresh coffee with all the semi-automatics. It's got a built-in grinder. Great way to go, but it's nothing like this. This is the one that has a grinder built in. It's all contained into one.
The way I kind of differentiate a lot of times to make it, is kind of say with a machine like that, the Breville you're asking about or other semi-autos, you're kind of the barista and you need a little bit of skill, a little bit of knowledge in order to, get the most out of it. And with this, like we talked about, they squeeze a little tiny barista in there that does it all for you.
Sure. But also, you know, if you do get something like that, you want a semi-automatic, we can definitely help you get them dialed in. If you want to be your own barista, we got tons of information on the site. We got videos, everything that shows you how to get your grinder dialed in so you get the best espresso, along with frothing techniques and such.
Yeah, when you get into that level of machine, it's all about the grind, right? Well, I mean, there's a lot of variables involved, but grind is number one in coffee.
And don't forget the coffee part. We mentioned that at the very beginning about getting good quality coffee. But no matter how good your machine is, if you don't have good fresh coffee, it's not going to be great. So get good fresh coffee. We have some really good brands here. I mentioned earlier, Coffee Mio. We bring right in from Australia via airplane. So that's nice and fresh. Doesn't sit on the boat a long time. We got some good Lavazza. Lavazza Top Class makes a great cappuccino. Maromas.
What's
Orphea.
my favorite? You brought it up.
Yeah, Maromas Orphea.
If you like a coffee that's just going to make that golden crema, the Maromas Orphea is really incredible. And
to make your milk drinks, make sure you get the right ratio of milk to coffee to make it taste good. Like, for example, a single shot in this much milk is perfect. You get to pull out all the good flavors, and you're not too strong or too weak. So, when you're making coffee, no matter what machine it is, worry about that. Think about that.
And in the end, it's really personal preference, right? Because I mean, my favorite's really kind of like a flat white, which is like basically a cappuccino but with a latte style milk to go down to the basics. So it's a double shot with not a ton of milk in it, so it more features the coffee than the milk a little bit. Whereas a lot of lattes you get are usually a single shot with more milk.
Yeah, and I prefer that.
You prefer that? Yeah. You're more the milk guy?
And sometimes what's really also good, don't mind me to take a tangent, is I love doing if I got a good coffee, doing just a single shot of espresso, pour some cold milk directly into it, and put one ice cube, not the whole thing, don't let it melt, just make it cold and pull it out if you need to. And that really brings out the flavors in the coffee. If you have a good coffee, then you can really taste them. Cold coffee with milk, to me, it's whole milk, of course. Tastes great.
Well, that's something, because if you talk to guys who drink a lot of coffee really into the flavors, they want it cooler, right? You really taste the coffee more when it's a little bit cooler, because if it's so hot that you can't even leave it there to taste it. And the same, it's like it's why they make cheap beer really cold and cheap coffee really hot, because when it's so far away from your body temperature, you can't get the flavors as much. So just a little tip.
Yep.
But
anything, Amanda?
We have Mad Dog. He's talking about
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog.
I like that.
I like Mad Dog.
Mad Dog 2020 as a couch.
He's asking about the brew groups, how there's more expensive. You guys have talked about this a little bit before, how some of the more expensive machines will have the same exact brew group.
Yeah.
So he's asking, are they going to basically make the same kind of coffee, the same taste of coffee?
Well, on some of the more expensive machines, you might have some additional controls. Like you might have more, like on this you have 3 strength selections. Was it six grind settings on this? When you get into more expensive machines, like for instance the Gaggia Brera, I'm going to say that right, has 15 grind settings and has, I believe it's 5 strength settings. Then it's also got a dial up here which lets you restrict the flow a little bit. So if you're making a taller coffee, you can just turn the dial real easy even while the coffee is flowing. So you can affect an extraction while it's taking place. So it's just more levels of control a lot of times. But at the heart, it's the same.
Yeah, flavor would be very similar.
Yeah.
Just it's easier to control. So if you want to do an espresso, you just dial down so it brews slow. If you want to do a cafe crema, which is a full cup of coffee, just dial it so it goes fast, and you don't have to worry as much about the grind setting.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, very similar cups.
So I'm just going to get in, and I just want to remind, if you just joined us or something, we do have the special offer on the Gaggia Brera. It's our favorite entry-level super automatic espresso machine. It's really low cost to begin with. We do have a special offer on it. Check the description down below. You can link to and see what that offer is right now, or just go to wholelatte.love.com and go to the Gaggia product page there. You can see the offer there. Some other stuff, we always have the free shipping on any purchase over $50. What else? We have the latte rewards, so you get any purchase you make, you're going to get 2% of the purchase price in rewards to use for a future purchase. So that's great. And of course, we were out and looking at our tech support folks, so you can talk to somebody on the phone before you buy and after you buy. If you want some advice, they're more than happy to help you. So,
yep.
Good stuff. What are we making now?
Well, I just figured instead of just us talking the whole time, we might as well do some action. We'll get some coffee brewing here.
So again, if you joined us late, so you're frothing right into the cup.
I mean, cappuccino cup.
You can do, that's the easy way, right? Or you can use a pitcher if you like. You know, be more traditional with it. And that's the auto frothing one. It's doing all the work for you.
Yeah, for cappuccino, just froth right into here. And when you're done frothing, you just turn off and just take that off of there.
And again, you don't want to go too hot with the milk, right?
Yeah, and brew your coffee right into your cup. Are we out of coffee again?
Well, was there enough?
I hate running out
So
of coffee.
You'll let that one go.
I let that go. Okay. My bad. But
like we said, you can stop it as soon as it starts, right?
But it tells you when you run out of beans, so that was really for product demonstration purposes only.
You weren't paying attention, huh?
Yeah. Go figure.
So, I mean, it's really quick. I mean, it's really about, you know, frothing for maybe, I don't know, start to finish, 40 seconds or so.
Yeah.
And then put your cup under, press the button, and
so this is how you do it if you don't want to use the frothing pitcher.
Ooh, very nice. And it just looks gorgeous.
Yeah, and they taste really nice too.
It's got the, you know, you got your classic little cap of foam there, and
yeah. So you can do it that way, or you can froth into a pitcher, and then you can dump it into your cup if you want to do more of a latte or something.
And if you joined us late, so here's some we did earlier with this machine, some latte art.
Yeah, which we can always do more if we want. I figure, say somebody's new and they want to see how it brews an espresso, we'll show you a good, nice espresso out of this. We have this set for full strength, which is about 10.5 grams. Mm-hmm. And then we have the coffee program to give about 1.5 ounces or so of coffee into your cup.
And again, you're using a fine grind, right? You got the grind.
Yeah, I've got the second to the finest right now.
Second to the finest. I mean, that barista inside that machine, pretty good.
Yeah. Yes.
And I mean, we're using a nice coffee too.
We got a good machine. We got good coffee.
The right grind setting.
Yeah. So it's pretty easy to do. So just to kind of summarize some of what we talked about before, which I think would probably be kind of important, is that if you're brewing a full cup of coffee, you want to have the grinder a little coarser. Mm-hmm. If you're doing an espresso, which is a small amount of coffee, you want it on a finer setting. And when you change the grind setting, have the grinder operate, push the button, and then push down and turn the grind setting. That's
so maybe let's just go. I mean, we're going to wrap up here in a couple minutes. If you have any questions about this machine, you want to know anything, now's the time to get those in right away. Because we're going to be done in, I don't know, 7-8 minutes here. But let's just kind of recap. Let's just go through kind of the features of the machine. And again, this is the Gaggia Brera super automatic, our favorite entry level super automatic espresso machine.
Yeah, without question. We're just kind of blast through this. Beans go up here. Mm-hmm. Grind setting here to change this. Push the coffee button so the grinder's on, and then push that down and turn it. You want to use pre-ground, like for a pre-ground decaf or something other than the beans you have in here. Mm-hmm. You can use that.
And then the strength setting. So like if you want to, vary the strength of your coffee, we go
right over here.
Or use the.
So you push that button. That's like around 7 grams. That's around 9. That's around 10.5 grams of coffee being ground. That scoop is for if you use the pre-ground coffee up here.
Good for the decafs.
Yep. You have 2 programmable buttons here to brew any amount of coffee you want, from like 1 ounce all the way up to 8 ounces.
And even though the one shows kind of like a espresso size, the other one shows a larger cup, you could program either. If you had like a 6 and an 8 ounce cup and you want to program it that way,
any way you want it. Used coffee goes into here.
Pull out one of the pucks. I'm curious to just have a look at what those look like. Okay. So that's the coffee that was brewed. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Boop. Water is on this side over here. And we install the water filter on this.
We do. The Brera itself doesn't come with them. A lot of machines do, but we do suggest using that for better taste. And
when you're out of water, this water light, that light will come on showing you're out of water. If the dredge drawer is full, that light will come on, or if it's removed, that light will come on. And always empty this when the machine's on, and the machine won't know you emptied it.
Right.
On the side over here, we have a brew group, which is really nice about the Gaggias. You can pull this out, rinse this under the sink, get the screen there, the whole thing through there, then let it dry.
No soap, just a...
Exactly, no soap.
Just a rinse?
Yep. Eventually, someday, if you want to use soap, you can do that, and then you have to relubricate the tracks, which is very easy. Drip tray comes out here. Nice about this, you have these baffles in here, so when you're carrying it, you don't drip water all over the place.
Not going to make a mess.
Don't make a mess. Clean. This, you can pull this off for cleaning real easy. Take it off and rinse it when you're done, and then let dry before you put it back on.
Yeah, let's just, while we're here, just mention, because that little hole.
Oh, the little hole.
The little hole. So it's got a tiny little hole in there.
Can you see it right there?
I think so.
Right there.
That's got to be clean.
Yeah.
Or your milk won't froth, right?
Exactly. That sucks air in, injects it into the milk. So if that gets plugged up, you're not going to get good froth out of it. It'll heat. It'll make maybe some really big bubbles, and you call us up and say, why is it making big bubbles? We'll say, because the hole's clogged.
Because you got to keep it clean.
And you say, okay, and you clean it. So you can froth without this if you want to. You can pull that off, and you can texture the milk in when you want. And you can actually do some really nice latte art that's been sitting for a while, but it still looks pretty.
And can we close out? Can I put you on the spot and have you show how you to do latte art on one of the most affordable entry-level machines? Yeah.
Play it again, Sam. Okay.
So you're going to go full strength on your...
Full strength. Brew my espresso.
And everybody always wants to know, how much milk do you start with?
That's a good question.
So 12-ounce pitcher?
For this cup, I'll be a little bit underneath where the spout comes in there.
And that's a 12-ounce rattleware.
I actually could, well, this is like a actual cappuccino cup. I could have used a little less milk on this one.
Maybe a little left over.
Whole milk always works best. Definitely tastes best.
Definitely tastes
Probably
best.
not the healthiest, but you can judge what you want to use yourselves.
Yep. And you can certainly use non-dairy milks. We've got lots of videos where we've done with soy and other sorts of milks.
Always purge the wand out first.
So you just turn the knob over there to steam.
To steam.
The other, if you turn the other way, you'd get just plain hot water.
Yeah, that's hot water. There's steam there.
Yep.
And we'll just wait a couple seconds. As the machine's heating up, see that light there?
Yep.
Shows that it's heating up. When it's heat, just put that underneath there. And you lower the tip, lower the pitcher down a little bit. You can see how it's sucking a little bit of air in there. Just a little bit. You don't want to do a lot. You don't want big bubbles. And we're going to heat it up to about 140 degrees. You don't want to go anything over that, or you start to lose your texture and your flavor. It's really sweet at around 140.
So what you're doing here takes a little practice to get this one down, but you can always use the auto frothing wand the machine comes with. But if you want to try and froth, a little finer for latte art, this is the way to go.
And when it starts getting warm, just raise the pitcher so you're not injecting any more air.
So you're raising up when the outside of the pitcher just starts to feel warm?
Yep.
Okay. And then you're continuing to froth and develop.
Yep. And immediately wipe down your wand
and give
a little clear out there.
Mm-hmm. Now the moment of truth, Todd.
Well, look at that, how creamy that is.
It is.
Whether I pour it and make it pretty or not is one thing, but it's going to taste good. And that'll make a really nice tasting drink. The ratios of milk to coffee in this will be perfect in that size cup, like that.
I mean, that's really, I'm going to turn back around here. That's really amazing that you can, on a machine like this, is you can go out and do latte art, and so many people are into that and want to give it a go. Yeah. And here's one that, can do that if you want to do that.
You can actually, which I just thought of, this uses almost like a hobby machine. Sometimes people like to get the semi-automatic and really work in the latte art, but they want the convenience of a super, but you can get that both here. So
yeah. Yeah.
Kind of sweet.
Very nice. So we'll check for questions one more time.
No, there's only one about height.
Height?
And dimensions and such like that, but Andrew and I have that covered.
Have that covered? Okay.
Otherwise, I think
Great.
we're basically all set on time.
All right, so just go through, one more time. It's a Gaggia Brera. It's our favorite entry-level super automatic machine. We do have the special offer on it right now. You can save a little extra money. You can link to that down in the description, or you go right to wholelattelove.com, find the Brera there, and you'll see the offer there. Free shipping on this machine. Always on any purchase, you'll get 2% of the purchase price towards future purchases. So that's a great thing. What else? Oh, and enter. We've got a contest going on right now, really easy to enter, where you could win $500 towards some purchases here at Whole Latte Love. So be sure and do that. You're gonna bring up the comes in black and silver.
Black and silver.
So
can't beat that.
Anyway, so we're gonna sign off now. If you've been thinking about it, take advantage of that offer. Definitely enter the contest. Thanks for watching. If you have questions after we're off live, ask away. We'll be more than happy to answer those. Or you can give us a call and talk to one of our really helpful people out here, and you can do that before or after you buy. A good deal. So anyways, Amanda, thank you so much for screening the calls. We've got the guys running the show over here. Sarah's over behind the camera. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time with some more neat live streams coming from us here at Whole Latte Love. Bye-bye.
Time for some